Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Can you see
Yeah,
the
I'm
screen?
getting. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about here. See, CD Uzi code, then look at the next command that came out here.
But you're already in VS Code now.
Yes, I am.
Um,
That's what I
can
was
you
trying to.
can you close this browser, this your tab first? Do you know where it's located on your machine?
Where what is located? My terminal.
Where the file of your code is located on your machine,
I
on your
don't know.
desktop.
I don't
You
know.
don't know.
Yes.
What did you name the file, the project?
Do you mean the file like VS Studio file or this
I
terminal
mean the
file?
pro I mean the project. What did you name your project when you were creating
Uzi
it?
code, Uzi code,
Using code.
Uzi code. Yes,
Close
UZI.
it.
Then
Please close this tab. Go to your desktop and look for OZ code like a folder.
okay.
That's your desktop that I'm seeing there now. Just click on it. Anyway,
I just searched. It's not here.
mm-mm.
Wait.
Go to desktop.
It's just
Go to this PC, please.
okay. Uh-huh.
Wait, you don't have anything on your desktop. In fact, I saw use code like search
Yes.
that
When
search
I
that
said
there.
this is it here now.
Yes, open it. Open it. Right click on it and open it with VS Code.
Okay. Hold on, sorry.
No, well, like inside the folder where you were first of all. Go there. Yes. Open it
Okay.
as it was where I saw all the node modules. Now
This is
click on it anywhere on it. Click anywhere on it. Right click on anywhere.
right.
Uh, you don't have VS Code.
I have it now. This is it here
I'm
now.
this Visual Studio. Anyway, open it with it.
Wait, VS Code and Visual
Is
Studio
it
Code is not. It's not the same thing.
it's the same thing. Open it, sorry. I was thinking of something else. Right click and open it with it, please. Open Visual Studio.
Yes, I've done that. I think it's loading or something. Should I just close this tab completely?
Yes, close it.
It's still loading.
Please, I want to say something.
Yes, go ahead, please.
There's another way you can see the folder itself, even though it doesn't want to search for it. You can see the folder. So you should just go to his local disk. Once you get to the local disk, see, you go to user. Then you will see his HP. We see everything. Then you can open it all together from this thing. Yes, user. Yeah. Click
This.
on that. Yes, click on that. Then look for it.
Okay, I've seen it. Nice one, nice one.
So open it with Visual Studio like that.
I don't know why the thing is not loading though.
You don't have VS Code. You have
That's not
Visual
VS
Studio,
Code. You
and
are
there are two
using
different
Visual
things.
Studio. I think your
There are two
Visual Studio
different.
is version, and there are two different things. That's
Kabiru,
right.
What is this one?
Kabiru, just hold on. Yes, that one, Visual Studio Code. That's what
So,
I'm looking for.
but you said
I was
I don't have it.
confused. I was seeing a different anyway,
Yes.
open the Visual Studio. Click on it. Click on the Visual Studio.
Mm-hmm.
Go to file. Go to file. Go to open folder. Sorry, open folder.
This.
Yeah. Open. Thought that yes, that one. No, just no. Go back. Yes, select folder.
Okay. Am I supposed to trust it?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Okay.
Go to the terminal. Open a new terminal. Now do npm start.
Okay.
Wait. First of all, wait. Did you okay? Do npm start. Npm start. Start.
Okay. Like this.
Enter. Yes.
Okay.
It's going to open it on your it's going to open localhost. I think that's fine. You can stop sharing now.
Okay, I can stop sharing now. Look at
Yes,
what
you
is.
see it on your browser.
I should allow access, yeah? What should I do?
Yes. Access. Open Google Chrome. Open Google Chrome.
Okay. So what's this supposed to like?
Were you in the class yesterday?
I was in the class yesterday.
That's
I told you
yes,
when
that's what
when you got to this part that I told you that time in the class that I my network cut. I told you, yes, I remember vividly. I told you that my network cut. I just came back when I was seeing this particular screen now. I'm going
My
to stop
okay
sorry
now.
for interrupting.
I'm going to stop sharing now.
Yes, please stop sharing. So this is what you are going to do as it's
Yes,
already
ma'am.
running, but now you don't have the code that I have, sorry. So you have to go back to that repo, the link of the repo I sent you, then you fork the repository so that you can keep a copy of it.
I don't
And
understand. The link of what?
the link to the repository I sent yesterday.
Okay. In the Telegram group, right?
Yes, then you fork it. Then when you fork it, you get now the copies of what I did, and then now you install the modules you don't find, the dependencies you don't find, and you do npm start. You automatically see what we did. Whose hand is raised? By 10:30, we are going to get into what we're supposed to do today.
I don't understand what you
Peculiar.
do. Like, I don't even understand what you said. It's for GitHub. I don't understand. Like, I'm really confused.
Do you know Git and GitHub, first of all?
Yes, you sent the link of that Git and GitHub. Yes, I know it.
Did you follow the tutorials?
Eh?
Did you
But
follow the tutorials?
I've not signed up for it yet, though.
When you set up for you, tell me.
Okay. But please, I'll text you again on Telegram again, please.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Peculiar.
Good morning.
Good
Can
morning,
you hear me?
Peculiar. Yes, I can get you.
So I think I saw yesterday that the Telegram group, like, I've not been in class for the past 2 days because I'm having serious light issues, like where I am. There's been no light, so I missed the last 2 classes. So yesterday I came online and I saw that the Telegram group was deleted. I lost all the resources that were posted for the past like since we started. So please can that be sent again? Because I want to study. Like I don't even know what's going on because I don't have access to it. Because it's only the recording on YouTube. So please can that be resent so I can find my bearings?
So you're basically asking that um I should do you need the recording for yesterday. Is that what you're asking for?
I think that is on the YouTube channel already, right?
No, we did not do any recording yesterday.
Ah, oh my God.
So that's why I was saying that you have to learn it on your own.
Okay,
So
I can do if I
maybe
have
when
the
you're stuck along the line, eh,
resource materials that have been sent, like that were sent to the group since Monday. Everything is gone. I don't have any link again to all the slides and all of that. That's what I'm asking for.
okay, I will send it to you. Just give me on Telegram. Rebecca,
You got your handle on Telegram. You're not starting, right?
Hello, Mai.
yes.
Yes, I said thank you. It's open now. Thank you. I used the NPM start, so it's open on my local computer now. Thank you.
So please, all other questions will be taken after the class. So let's really get into what we are supposed to do today. Can you see my screen? Um,
Yes, we can see it.
I can see your screen. So it has no longer there.
um, so today we're going to learn the other parts of React. So today we're going to start with prop drilling, and then get to events and find form input. So quickly into what we're doing. So what's prop drilling? Prop drilling is a pattern in React where data is passed from a parent component to one or more child components through a chain of intermediate components. So it involves passing data through props, and even if the intermediate components don't need the data themselves, you just get the child components that need it. And prop drilling can be a useful technique in certain situations, but it can lead to code that is difficult to maintain and understand, especially when the component hierarchy is deep. This simply means that, for example, when you have a component and you need to call props, for example, the component that is supposed to use the props is used in another component, and then you need to like call it from that other component in order to use it in this your other component. So sometimes it causes a lot of issues and problems, and your code is not really efficient. Let me put it that way. And when the components are tightly coupled through prop drilling, changes in one component can affect many other components, which can lead to refactoring. And to solve the problem with prop drilling, React provides several other patterns for managing states and sharing data between these components, and this include first, you have context. Context allows data to be shared across an entire component tree without the need to pass props through down manually at the entry level. So by the time we've dealt with all what we're supposed to deal with, towards the end, I don't know if we really touch context and Redux, but I'm hoping we do. If we are not slow, we can touch context or Redux. So Redux is a state management library that allows you to manage the state in a centralized store that can be accessed by any component in the application. So these are some of the ways in which you can solve prop drilling. Events. First of all, we've heard of events in JavaScript, so it's not something that is new to us. Even yesterday, we did an event that was on click. We used an event on click in order to in that when a button is clicked, the numbers should change. So the previous number should add to 1. So basically, as you click the button, the number keeps increasing. So we did that event yesterday using states. And in React, events are similar to DOM events, but they are handled differently. They are aware of components to respond to user actions or other events that occur within the applications. So React events are based on a synthetic event system where a single event listener is added to the top level document object, and all events are captured and handled by this listener. This is known as event delegation and helps to reduce the number of event listeners in your application. So very soon we'll get into the practical part of this, and we're going to see the on-change event. And yesterday we saw the on-click. Today we'll see the on-change event, whereby when a user clicks an icon to delete one of the feedback items, the user is going to get a prompt that, are you sure you want to delete this? And it's automatically going to be deleted. So that's one of the events we are going to see today. And also on change, using the form input. So when we get into the practical session of this today, we're going to see that. Now, what is two-way binding? Two-way binding in React is a technique that allows a component state to be automatically updated based on changes to an input field or other form elements, and vice versa. We're still going to see this with respect to forms. When you submit a form, what does it do? It has to take in a data from the user and validate it. So in other way, this is two-way binding. The fact that it's taking the data, there are some series of things it has to do. So this is two-way binding. And in a two-way binding scenario, changes made by the user in the input field are immediately reflected in a component state, and changes made to the state by the component are immediately reflected in the input field. So this creates a seamless interaction between the user and the component, with the state and the UI always in sync. So they are basically saying that you want this to happen when this happens. Like, for example, if a user types in the input, you want that if the message or the input is not up to 10 characters, then the user should not be able to send a message. Like, you can disable the button to say that. And many other scenarios in which you can see two-way binding. And to implement two-way binding in React, you need to use a controlled component, which is a component that manages its own states and receives its value via props. And you can then use the onChange event to update the component state whenever the user makes a change to the input field and pass the value back to the input field using the value prop. So basically, that's how two-way binding works. And you can use a controlled component. Yesterday I told you to read controlled and uncontrolled components. So I'm not sure to touch that. Let's now get into form, input, and state. Form inputs in React are special components that allow users to input data into form. These are things that you've seen even in HTML, even in JavaScript. Maybe you want a user like a login, you create a login page so that a user can enter its details like the name, the email. Then you have a database. Like if the user enters, what should happen? Should it go to the database? Should you request for something? All of those things. So that depends on what you want. And form input is basically taking input from the users, allowing the users to fill in their inputs. So they are typically used in conjunction with other form elements like labels, buttons, and validators to create a complete form that users can interact with. And in React, form inputs can be created using standard HTML form elements such as input, select, text area. So yesterday I spoke about JSX. Like basically you're writing HTML code inside JavaScript code. So this is also is the same thing. We are using the same syntax. Like for example, if you want to write a form, that's the same syntax you're going to use. You're going to use this HTML syntax, and such as the input syntax, select, text area. However, React also provides a set of specialized form components that make that make it easier to handle form inputs and state changes. All right, so I'm not really going to do much talking today, so we're going to dive into the practical part of this, and then we're going to dive into the practical part of this session. So most of what you've heard me saying now, I think we're going to now practice it. But so far, is there any question with regards to what I have said? Okay, so peculiar. Yes. Okay, no, silence means there's no question. So I can move ahead, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so mm, so first of all, I've done some changes. Um so yesterday I gave an assignment to use global states, and I'm just going to explain what we see here. So what I've done is I've this is a list of items. So I've created an array in which when you map through the list, it displays each of them. So yesterday we just had a feedback item, which was this. Yesterday we just had this, and I've created the data. This is the data that I've created. I've created an array of data so that we can call it in the app.js file. Reason being because when I cannot put all the data here, it's going to be it's going to look cumbersome and bulky and not really nice. So I created a folder called data, and in the data you can have an array of numbers, an array with ID, rating, and a text. So you have to create a use state here. First of all, we've called it here import use state from React, and then here we've created an array, we've destructured the array, and we've called feedback and set feedback. And this use state feedback data is coming from this data that we've gotten here. And we've imported it too into the app.js file. And so remember I said that it's a list of items. So basically we could still come here and just call back this feedback component, call it back, and it's still going to display, but the data will not change. It's going to be the same data. So basically you should have maybe a database, which we are not really going to get into in this course. In fact, throughout the time we'll be teaching the course, we are not going to get into database, but you can have a JSON database where you can do all of these things. So this is a feedback component here. It takes in the feedback that was called here. And if you come to the feedback list component, you can see that first of all, we've imported the feedback item from the feedback component. So we've imported the feedback item from the component we did yesterday. And then I created an if statement here. I said if there is no feedback and the feedback the length of the feedback is equals to 0, it should return no feedback here. But that's not going to work because we already have a feedback, which is the data. Is a feedback here and it's taking data. So we already have a feedback and it's not going to work. But if we remove this, we're going to see no feedback here, but I'm not going to do it. So we're going to see no feedback here. So this is just an if statement to I just wrote that in case it happens like that. So you have to look at some case scenarios if it has to reach that point. And now this is the mapping here that we're doing. Now, first of all, it has a class name of feedback list. And we're saying that we're mapping through the feedback. We'll map through the feedback items in the feedback. And it has a unique key which takes in the ID. So basically, every mapping function should have a unique key. And I just took the ID as a unique key and it returns now the item which is being displayed here. So the code will always be made available. So after today, you can also go back and look at the code. And so this is how the feedback list was created and the feedback item too. So I also created a card component, and that's because I wanted this feedback list to have a card component on its own because we're going to use it in the form input. I'm going to create a file called feedbackforms.jsx and we're going to use a card component there. So basically, I created a folder called shared, which contains both the card component and the button component, because we may want to use it anywhere in our code. So we may not need to write the code all over again. So we have the button and the card component. And in the card component, it takes prop types, which I've defined them here. Yesterday I said it's not really important here in React, so it's not a must. It's just defining the types of props that it can be Boolean, it could be strings and so on. So we've imported prop types from prop types library, we've imported React, and then the card takes in children and reverse as a prop. And reverse here is a class is a class how do they call this thing again? It's like how can I put it? There's already a class name. For example, if I was writing a class here, like it's going to be class name reverse, which you can see it in the CSS. But then I've made it a conditional class in such a way that the background is different from the background we had yesterday. Yesterday we had a white background. So I made it in such a way that if the reverse is false, let me just put false, I'm going to have a white background. we're going to have a white background. So this is coming from this statement I wrote here. I said if the cat, if it's a cat, um then you have to, sorry, if it's reverse, then it has to be true. But if the reverse is true, no, if sorry, I'm confused a little bit. If cat, then reverse. And if the reverse is
Man,
false, then it
please
displays
slow
the
down.
background white.
Please,
Oh,
please slow
sorry,
down. Please.
sorry. So but up to this point, are we together? So basically this statement says that if reverse, then we have the class reverse. But if not reverse, then um we don't have the class, we have that other background that we said. So basically up to this point, we've understood, right? We've understood global states in the app.js file. Yes, Gabriel.
Now, what you just explained now, is it that one that is state? Because I still don't get the global state ID.
Yes, this is the global state here. Remember that what is that called? Remember that yesterday we created but a component state. So yesterday the component state was just in the feedback item, and we set it in such a way that I've deleted the code actually. It took in props, rating, and it took in props text. And then we set it, we had a button that if you click on the button, this should happen. So it basically we had props such as item and rating, and it was just for this component. Now taking it as a global state, we see that it's inside now the app.js file, like it can be used anywhere, like it can be displayed. It's a global state, and that's why we've now taken the feedback and the set feedback as we've taken the feedback and set feedback, and it's taken in the feedback data from the data file that we've created here, in such a way that feedback is being passed as a prop here. Are we together? Sorry, I'm fast, I'm trying to be slow though. Are we together, please?
Oh, I guess we are.
All right, so let's get into what I just thought. I was just explaining some things. So first thing first, in the components folder, we're going to create a new file, and we're going to name it feedback from and then so this feedback form is going to have, now remember that we've created a card component, so we're just basically going to change this as card. And then let me just write here forms, and then we're going to import it into the app.js file. um Sorry. Mm-mm. And if you come under here, so if you come here, we're going to see forms. Why is it not in the card section? Um, Sorry, we have not imported the card component here, so we have to import the card component. And then here it's going to change now. So basically, you see that is now in a card, like the forms now is in a card. So what we're going to have on this here, we're going to have a form that is going to be able to take feedback from the users. So let's create a form here. Again, I wanted us to have an icon here. That's if in case we want to delete it, but we can do that using many ways. But I'm going to use React icon. So I'm going to install React icons. Yes. Tola will sub this.
Sorry, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can get you.
The button.jsx and card.jsx, those files, what did they actually do? Yeah, those two files.
Okay. This is it that I was explaining. This each of these feedback lists is in a is in a card component. That's why we can call the card component anywhere we want to use it. So basically we've called it in the form component because we want to use it. All of these list items are on a card component, and if I remove the card component, it's just going to display without the card. And now we want the card component in the feedback form, and that's why I've called it now into the feedback form. For the button component, I created a button component because in the form we need a button when the user clicks it. So I've given it a default. First of all, the button should be able, it takes in the props, children, the default props, the version, the type, and if it's disabled or not. And yeah, I gave it some default properties. So if it's disabled, it should be false like normally, and the type should be it should be button, and version should be the primary button. So is that clear?
All right. Is that what you call global state variables, or you're saying something along those lines
No,
that there are some
no,
that are
no,
global?
no. Yeah, confused. You're confused. I've already left global state variable. Now I'm into events. I've left global state. Global state variable. So this is where the global states came into place here, where we called the feedback data from the data folder. So this we're taking feedback as a prop. So this is a global state here. This is a global state because it can be used anywhere. But yesterday we did a state that was just for the feedback item. But now this state can be used everywhere because you can call it can be called differently in different components. So it's a global state. So please don't get confused between global states and the component state itself. Is that
Oh, all
okay?
right. Thank you. Yeah, it is.
Can we continue now? Everything is understood to this point. I'm not like flying. I'm not running, right? Am I slow now?
Yeah, okay, you can go on.
Okay. So please pay attention because we're going to be doing some serious things here. All right. The card component should take. Okay, the React icons has been installed. I'm going to call it in the feedback list. So I'm going to call it here. So how do we import it? So we're going to import. I'll be using um I hope I'm doing. So I installed React icons, and that's why all all the React icons are found in the file folder. So if you need a React icon, you look for the name of the React icon you want, and then you import it from the file icons. So I'm going to. This is not actually very good. Mm, I don't know. Where this thing is posted? Feedback item. This is it. So in the feedback item. How am I putting this thing up?
Ma, why is the fat item? Is it fat time bringing out warning?
Because I'm not putting it in the right place. Where is this supposed to be in the feedback list? Please hold on, let me check something here. Okay. Anyway, please, we'll come back to that. Let me first of all go ahead with what I want to do. So in the feedback form, you're supposed to have an action, but I don't think we need this. It's supposed to have a type. Placeholder. Mm. So, and let's give it a class name, which is already named in the CSS. First of all, let me write this H. Mm. Um, let me see. Yes. Yes. Is it that? Okay, please hold on. I'm trying to do something at style. Let me check the name I styled this file. Oh, recently.
Are we, how, we're still in the class, right? I thought it's my network, sorry.
Is she no longer presenting?
I guess our network or something. She's coming.
Let us
Okay,
open.
thanks.
Ouch.
I hope everything is alright here.
Yeah. What's up? How are you?
I'm good though.
What's up, man? Where are you from?
I'm from ABK.
Wow. Where is BBK? I don't know that place.
Sorry,
Wow.
I have no connection. Nobody even simplified me.
Where is that place located? Like,
Abeokuta.
Abeokuta.
Abeokuta. I was shocked. BBK. I was like, maybe it's
Alpha,
from
Alpha,
those
Alpha.
Igbo language.
Hello. Please, can we talk about how to do global? Can somebody share his own screen and let's just do our own practicals on our own instead of okay, all this sound. Let's mean business, please. Let's
Okay.
just
Let someone explain that global state.
any one of us can just explain it. Anybody can just come up like share your screen and throw more lights.
The thing is, let me use my system to do the this thing because
Share
I'm
your
using my
screen.
Okay,
phone.
I'm back. I'm back. Please, I'm back. Sorry,
Right.
the network interrupts me. Can we, let me share my screen, please. Can you see my screen?
No.
Just hold on like this.
I can see your screen now.
Can you see
You
it?
can see. Yes.
Okay. So what actually, I don't know what happened to me, and I was instead of taking input as an element. Are you guys with me? So I've given it the class name of input group. So the input group now, that's why it has styled it to this way, because I'd already given a styling for it. And I'm going to call the button component here so that you see the way it's supposed to be. Excuse. So when I call the button here, it's going to take a type of submit. So this is how it looks like. So it's taking in a button prop. The default button is normally this primary, and it's disabled now. And because it's disabled, you gave in a disabled prop, which is false. So it's disabled now. We'll have to write an if statement that is going to, basically what we want to do here is we want that if the characters is not up to 10 characters, you should not be able to submit. Normally it's supposed to be disabled like this. But let me first of all give you the normal way in which it's supposed to look like. Supposed to be like this. First of all, I don't want to call in the button at this point because I want us to see something. So basically what we want, as I said, is that when we're writing a review, if the text is not up to 10 characters, you should not be able to submit the form. And I wanted to show you how prop drilling works, but maybe towards the end of the call I'm going to show it, if time does not cut us short. Now what I want to do is I want to create a state here in such a way that when I click on when I'm writing the input, it should show that message. So I'm going to create a state here that takes in text and set text. I've not called use date. So I'm first of all going to give it a value of null. And then for this button, for still the same text, I'm going to give it an unchanged event. So it's going to have the event unchanged. Which takes in is going to take in handle delete, handle text change, sorry. So, and I'm going to create now a function of this handle text change that um that sets the value. So it's going to set the text into into whatever the user is going to input. So it's going, create another let me create a function that's const handle text change, and it's going to set the text to whatever value the user is going to input. That's e.target.value. I'm sure we're familiar with this syntax already.
Ma, is it the component level states we are doing here?
Yes, we're at the feedback form. We're on the feedback form. So we're now looking on how to, like, when a user inputs a word, like when a user gives in an input, right? The user the form is supposed to validate it, like it's supposed to check some statements in which we are going to write very soon. So that's why in the feedback form component itself. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay. Now I want the button to be disabled and enabled only when we have at least 10 characters. So in the feedback form, I'm going to create some other states again. This at the end of the day, I'm still going to explain it also. Don't be bothered if you're confused. Equals to use the true. Then we have the message we want it to be. So it's going to have the state message and set message. So we have equals to use the, it's still going to be null. And then towards the end of the form, I'm going to now call the message here. Now I'm going to write the statement that we want the validation to run whenever we type something. So right now here, if message, then we should and then now it takes the message as a prop. So now we're saying that this is a message we want it to be displayed. Like I'm going to write another statement in which the message is going to be shown under here. And I've created a state that takes in the message and the new message. Now I'm going to write some statements in this set text that will cause it that um whenever a user is writing, if the inputs are not up to 10 characters, then the button should be disabled. But if the inputs are up to 10 characters, it should be enabled. So let's say if text is equals to nothing, text is equals to null. No, let's say it's nothing though. And we set the button disabled to be true, and then we set the message to be null. Else if you guys know functions in JavaScript, right? So it's not something strange. If text is not equals to null, if text is not empty, because now what's happening? Syntax error.
Closing tag.
Let me just finish typing this thing.
Double closing tag.
Yes.
Line
So you should
17.
trim it.
Turn off your
And the
microphone,
noise in
please.
the background stop. Please, can the noise in the background stop? It's less than 10, less than or equals to 10, then um
Sorry, I'm not sure. Well, in JavaScript, I think it is test we trim,
yes.
and for the condition before it to the first condition, if statement, it should be test dot trim too.
Well, I just wanted to
Okay,
even without the condition of text or stream, it's still going to work. I just want it to be for this particular statement.
okay.
Uh, mm, supposed to be less than or equal to 10. What have I missed here?
But I'm
Come
increasing
back
now.
to that. That or It's I was like, let me just copy it. So basically what I've said is I've said that if the text is equal to null, you should set the button disabled to be true. Sorry, if the user, first of all, um if the user is not going to write anything, like the user, there's nothing here on the form, like it should be normally disabled. Then, and if the message is null, it should be normally disabled. Now, else if text is not equal to, like if there is a text there, it should trim it, and then the length should be less than 10 characters. So you have to set message text must be at least 10 characters, and they set the button disabled to true. Else you set message null and set button disabled to be false. So this is a if statement that is being said, that's being done here. And
Ma, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, network, I don't know, my network is disturbing. Hold on, I'm going to share very soon. Can you see the screen? You guys can see the screen
Yes,
now.
yes, ma'am.
So I've called this function handle text handle handle text change, and I've said if I've already explained this, and then if the text is not up to 10 characters, I've disabled the button here, and then the input is taking a function handle change, which is already here, which I've written it here. And if you look at the output now, if I start writing something like, let's say, how they're telling me that text must be at least 10 characters, and you can even see that the button is not even enabled. So let's say how you the button now becomes enabled, and then but we cannot do anything. And I'm not really going to get into that in this video. I just wanted to demonstrate how events work, which we have seen here. We have seen on change, and I wanted to also show how to take inputs from, like, how to collect inputs from React, which is the same way we write forms in React. Like, it's the same syntax we're using. We're basically just writing the HTML inside the code. And what else? Prop drilling. Now, prop drilling comes in place when we have many components wanting to use a particular prop. That's when prop drilling comes in place, but it can be solved through use context, which we are not still going to look at it, because it's something that after like a number of teachings before you can get into the use context. But so far so good. Is everything understandable to this point? Is
Yes,
everything
yes.
understandable?
No, yes. No, not really, but
Yes,
yes.
Kabir.
But
What
yes,
do
but
But
Mark,
you
I
can,
just want to
by
get the
the
last.
code is being to yes, Aslam, talk.
Please, what do you
Um,
mean by functions?
Eh?
Like, what do you mean by functions? Are you talking about class,
Wait,
all those
please,
equal
let me
to
be
all
sure. You
those?
know JavaScript, right? Hold on, you know JavaScript, right?
Like, yeah, I read about it. Like, based on what I've been taught.
So you've never seen functions in JavaScript. Mm? And we even explained it. It takes
What
in
I'm
parameters. We even explained it. Which day was that? Day 2. JavaScript, some basic JavaScript. Okay, you just need to go and revise your functions. Let me put it that way. If you don't understand what's going on now, just go and
No,
revise
I
your
understand
functions.
what is going on, but what I'm trying to say is,
So what is the problem?
I mean, function. You guys were saying something about function, so I was like, do you mean all those class names, like equal to okay, what are those ones called?
If statements. I was writing
Okay,
but if statement, if else statement.
like all these
Please,
placeholders, all those
if you don't
special functions, all the,
understand this, please
okay,
um
what is this called?
please go and revise.
I think they are
If
called
statement,
conditional statements.
yes. Basically if statement, like the if else statement. So please, if you are not understanding this, I'll really plead that maybe you should go and revise your JavaScript again and come back again and try to understand it, because it's based on what you learned in JavaScript. In fact, ReactJS is all about manipulating JavaScript. So if you don't know JavaScript well, or if you don't have a knowledge, like a basic knowledge of JavaScript, then you'll not be able to do anything.
But I don't have, like, we're not teaching JavaScript here, are we? We're talking about front end.
You are not teaching JavaScript, but React is part of JavaScript. It's a JavaScript library. So if
So
you
you just
want to know React, then you must know JavaScript.
okay.
So far so good. Has everything been understood, please? Again, I've not yet pushed this code to the GitHub repo that you're supposed to use. So you will not see it until I push it. And I'll have to push a code before you can see whatever has been done.
Sorry, please. Is there a way you can show us maybe before when you want to push the
Yes,
code?
Kabi.
Because I'm having issues pushing the code yesterday, so maybe you can just show us when you want to do it.
Okay, to push a code to GitHub.
Yeah.
Um so basically what I use is Git. So I'll just come here and click Git bash, and then it's loading. So don't know why it's taking time to load, but um so you click Git bash and some stuff will appear. Wait, am I on the right? Hold on.
You can try doing it from your desktop. I think the
Yeah, I
network.
know. I want to show you something, but I don't really know why this. It's normally Git bash. It's just network that is disturbing now. So I'll just use the terminal.
Hello.
I think our network is bad.
Please, who understand what she did in the button and the card? I still don't get that place. The button and the card.
I think we need to organize ourselves apart from this collaboration, I'm supposed to like have our own class that we teach each other, because honestly, these things are looking complex. And when I'm asking questions like this, it looks like just need
Yeah,
to like
yeah,
do it.
yeah.
I'm sorry, my network
w-
is really shaking today. I don't know. So I think you can see the screen now. So basically, can you see my screen?
No, no.
no, no,
Okay.
no.
So I normally use git bash, and it has been configured already, is on the main branch. So when I do git status, it shows me all the files that are supposed to be ready for commit, like your package file and all the other files that are supposed to be ready for that are supposed to be committed. But now I'm not going to commit the file one by one, because it's going to take me much time to be writing. I'm just going to do git add, and it adds all of it, and then git commit. Let's say what commit should I write? Learning for no what commit? Let's say
Explain form
um
component.
explain what?
Global
Let's say
component
form something. No, let me just put
form component. Or
what is form um um added what did I do again? Um
Feedback component.
no, I wanted the commit. I wanted this message to be explicit. I'm trying to combine. Anyway, let me just write that added the form component and did some basic operations. So then it
Feedbacks.
shows now it has been committed, and then we can say git push origin main, because it's on the main branch, and everything is going to be pushed. So everything has been pushed, and if you come to the VS Code, you see that there's nothing to be committed. So basically, you could do it here at on the VS Code, but I do not really want to do it here, and I think that is it. Yes, Rebecca.
Well done, Mai. Now that you've pushed it for us, how are we going to, what are the git command we are going to use to clone it?
To clone it. See,
Yes,
let
to
me take
update
you both to
our.
Git. Let me take you to Git. Where's my Git listing server? So this is my GitHub, and then mm, I'm going to look for the repository. So this is a repo here. So first of all, I said you should fork it, because you can fork it and keep your own copy. Then you create a branch for yourself that you can be pulling the code from the main branch, the updated code from the main branch, and you will not need to be every time coming to, let's say, clone it or download it and so on. So it's better to fork the repository so that you can keep a copy of it. And maybe if any and you create a branch that, like your own working branch, that you can be doing some things there. And maybe if if you have some contributions to add to the project, you can do it and you compare it with the main branch, or you pull the updated code from the main branch and compare it with yours. And yes, you can do some other operations with it and see if it's the same. And if you have any contribution, you can do a pull request also. So that's how this is where to fork the repository. You just come and click fork and it automatically creates a copy aside from these original copies. Is it understood?
Yes, thanks.
Yes, Joseph. Yes, Joseph. I'm waiting for you.
Good morning. Like
Good
I've already
morning.
forked the repository and I've cloned it already. My question is like I just want to get the specific changes you made today. How am I going to do that?
Then you go to the main branch. You have already cloned the repository, right?
Yes.
You have cloned it, right? So it's on
Yes.
your. You have to go to the main branch. Then you do git pull origin main. It's going to pull all the code, that is all the updated code from the main branch.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any other question, please? Any other question? There's no David,
Sorry,
your hand.
sorry. Good morning. Sorry. Um, please, I would like to get some other. I don't know. Um, maybe sites or things that we can learn these things from also as we go along with the class. You get, because most of us,
Yes.
we
Um,
are not really. I don't know for many others, but for me, I'm
yes.
kind of new
One.
to the stuff, but I know
Yes.
let's say some
Hold
bits of
on.
JavaScript.
I've gotten your question.
Okay, and
I've
another
gotten your
thing.
question.
Okay, the second
Mhm.
question is about the JX icon you used the other time on the terminal. Can you just please um put more light into it, and so I want to try and use that too, the icon stuff.
The React icons. Okay,
Yes.
I'm just going to like show where I've used it, and then but I'm not going to do like any operation on it. So it's just going to display, and um it's not going to show anything. Let me just do it, then share my screen.
Okay.
Please hold on, let me
Okay.
feedback item. Okay.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, hold on. Can you see my screen?
No,
Can you see now?
no, not at all. Yes, yes.
So actually, this is not where it's supposed to be, but this is how it is. So I've called it from here. I called it import this far times from this, and then I've come and called it under here, and that's why you see the icon here blue, and I've also given it a color blue. So basically you can have some events on it, like you can create states and events and let the button function the way you want to function. You want it to function, like you can create an on-click event and any type of event you want, and
Okay,
it's automatically added.
okay. I guess you are calling it from your saved directory or
I
repository.
directed, I downloaded npm install React icons.
Okay, okay. That's
So
the
when you install, yes, when you install npm install React icons, it downloads all the icons you need. So you just need to now come to the file. You just need to come to the file, call it from. It's normally inside this folder far. So call whatever far. It could be far Facebook. In fact, all the icons starts with far, most of them. So you could call the icon, then now come and call it here and maybe give it a color, and you can do some events on it, like normal events. Maybe you should have an on-click function, an on-click something, whatever it's supposed to happen. So that's your assignment. Well, your assignment is basically to arrange these icons in such a way that when you click on it, it should delete a feedback. So
again, again, please. The assignment again.
your assignment is that when you should make this icon an event. Like when you click on the icon, you should be able to delete any of these feedbacks. Like the screen should notify that we are going to permit something, like it should prompt something, and when you click on delete, it automatically deletes it. So that's your assignment. So when you pull the code, arrange the icons to maybe fit whatever you want it to fit, and when you click on it, it should automatically get deleted. Is that okay?
It's okay.
Do you mean is to disappear or no?
That
I
do I
said, do you
mean?
mean is to disappear the um
The comments they will on clicking on the times you cancel
Like
the
when you
comments
click
will
on,
disappear.
yes, it deletes a feedback. That's what it should do.
Okay.
Like for instance, now maybe
Yeah.
if I over that council, you should show me like, do you want to
Yes,
cancel?
you can make events. You can create states and events for it to happen.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying that now for you to do their assignment is to create a state that when you click on the icon, it gets deleted. It deletes a feedback. And okay, I wanted to say that tomorrow I'm not going to be the person to teach you people. I'm only teaching you guys on Fridays and on Thursdays and Fridays. So tomorrow I'm not going to teach you. See you only next week Thursday. And the person who is to continue is a first person that was teaching trust. he's going to continue with the React. And please do the assignments and send to me. Like, show me that it's working, like just a small video of how it functions, maybe on Telegram or WhatsApp, any of them. Due date of the assignment is this night. So yeah, this night, let's say 12. Then I'll not tell you what the person will have, but it's just an encouragement if you do it. Is that okay?
All right.
Okay, so I've come to the end of the session. Have have a nice day ahead of you, and please be productive. Try to learn more. And somebody was asking I should suggest materials you guys can learn. First of all, go to the React documentation. That's that's where you get whatever you're looking for. Secondly, I always follow tutorials from Net Ninja. You can go to YouTube and look for Net Ninja's tutorial and follow it up. It's going to help you. And also Traversing Media. You can also go to Traversing Media, get tutorials and learn. Those are one of the people. Those are people that anytime I want to learn something, I just follow like one or two of their tutorials, and I can say I really understand what they are saying. So I think that's all for today. So see you guys next week Thursday, and I hope you have a nice time. Please don't forget to send in your assignments. Due time is 12 midnight, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Um, how about getting the recording?